met the other 9 or 10. I knew about half. They picked up the drugs. We just, including Daniel, stayed at the tram stop. The MD was in 3 little bags to share between 5 of them. There was a bit of confusion because they looked the same, but eventually they thought they sorted it out. They put it in water, 2-litre bottles. Daniel had a much smaller one. We took about 3 different trains. They were kind of slowly sipping it at intervals on the journey. Daniel waited till the very last train and then had it all. He didn't look professional at doing this kind of stuff. We hung around at Victoria for about half an hour. There's a Facebook page, Lewis was refreshing his phone every 5 minutes to check if they said where it was.
Well, you kind of thinking maybe I'd been better off staying home and playing on my Xbox.
Whenever I go anywhere, I'll be on Xbox because I just like being at home. Once there, I realised everyone else was high except for me, and I didn't really like it. It was very cold. You can kind of hear the bass from the music at the train station. It was an abandoned Taunton office on the industrial estate, 2 buildings either side of this road. On the left, you get your bags checked for weapons and stuff. They took me deodorant and gave us wristbands. I think it was a tenner to get in. It was this massive hall and no one was there. I'm like, is this it? Great. We crossed over and that's where everything was. They were like,
well done, Jack. Your first rave!
What? Well, a rave was a protest. From the moment I walked in, I wanted to go home, but I had no idea how. We were in some random place and I didn't want to leave my friends. Plus, I felt I had a duty of care for them, just in case. I was sober, so I would have been. It was good music and big like DJs that you hear on Radio 1 and stuff. It was a bit like Why They Here. All you do is walk around in these different rooms and listen to music and dance if you want. We found our own corner that we allocated to.
If you get lost, come back here!
I spent pretty much the whole night there with at least 2 people with me. I was with Daniel. He told me his life story about his family and how he appreciated my friendship. Then he went off to dance with 2 others. He'd taken his shirt off because he was so hot and was throwing it around. He was just completely, absolutely gone.
Never in a million years would I imagine these to be our last moments together. I will always remember his last words to me. I love you, man, so much. I never even knew. I know I really knew you for a while, but you're my best friends, and I never want to lose you. And then we hugged it out. A moment no one can take away from me, and I can cherish forever. Then, all of a sudden, you were gone. I don't know where. I thought I never got to reply to you, but Dan, I love you too.
After some time, the 2 we'd gone off with came back to
Where's
me.
Dan?
It was with you.
We thought he'd gone back to you.
Where was he?
Dancing somewhere?
Why don't you, Jack?
What?
Dance!
Let's just go and find him and go.
We've only been here an hour.
It was about 2. I wasn't super worried. I just thought, we'll find him. And an hour later, we've been searching for him.
He's nowhere. Jack, what's that?
Shit, it's Dan! Dan had been with someone we didn't know too well, and he thought Dan was called Jack, and this group of third stagers were around him, calling him
Jack! Jack!
They were trying to get him to respond. I'm like, his name's Daniel. I'm Jack. What's happened? They'd taken his shoes off. It was really cold, but he wasn't cooling down. He was dribbling. His eyes looked demented. He responded a bit when they got his name right. He wasn't talking. He just kind of mumbling.
On Saturday 18th of January 2014, I was working on a night shift on a fast response unit in a car, so alone. At 3:52, I was dispatched to an emergency call. 17-year-old male, drug overdose. I arrived in the industrial estate, but was unsure where to go. I was approached by a male in a black parka who gave me directions. The patient was lying partially propped up against the wall outside the premises. He was being attended to by 2 first aiders employed by the rave organisation. It was dark and raining. The patient had been found inside, dancing against the pillar, incoherent and not responding to questions. He was assisted from the building and taken to where I found him. My examination showed he was unresponsive to voice, painful stimuli or light. He was moaning, breathing rapidly, around 30 breaths a minute,
Normally 12 to 20,
and a pulse of 190.
normally 60 to 100.
The patient was put on 100% oxygen to improve his saturation level. At 4:03, the ambulance arrived on the scene. While Mr. Spargo Mabs was being moved onto the trolley bed for transference to the ambulance, I spoke to one of his friends.
They were asking if I had his parents' number or address or anything.
Jack texted me and I was like,
Dancing in an ambulance, do you have his number? I'm deadly serious.
swear on your life this isn't some stupid joke.
I swear.
I don't believe you.
Alice, the number.
You're joking.
I'm fucking not, just tell me.
You better not be.
They're waiting, hurry.
I didn't know their phone, but I texted Dan's address.
I thought he's in an ambulance, they can take care of it.
We'll be fine, don't worry.
Possibly I should have gone with it.
Neither the friend I was talking to nor anyone else was willing to travel to hospital with the patient.
I didn't want my parents to find out where I was.
It was alleged the patient had taken half a gram of MDMA.
I assumed nothing would happen and I never had to tell them.
No indication of time or whether he'd taken any other drugs or alcohol was given.
His parents been more suitable to be there than me.
It was also mentioned that he'd not drunk any water during the evening.
It was about 4 o'clock by now and I was like, can we go?
What? Stay another half an hour.
We decided
We decided I'd travel with the ambulance to assist the paramedic in case the patient went into cardiac arrest en route.
Me and the 2 others completely fell asleep for about 90 minutes or so. We ended up leaving at 5:30 or 6.
There was a Facebook page for the rave and I don't know, 10 or 11 people posted, like, does anyone know what happened? Like, who collapsed? Blah, blah, blah.
Clinical observations taken at 4:05 were as follows.
Patient unresponsive, still moving around slightly, temperature 40 degrees.
We were unable to get a blood pressure at this time. At no time did the patient's condition change with us. He never spoke or showed any awareness of his surroundings.
Maybe it was serious.
At 4:20, he was handed over to Hillingdon Hospital. He was in the resurrection room by 4:32.
Cut.